Hi guys, this is Kevin Hildebrand. Today we're going to go over 7 of the top reasons to join EXP Realty and some of the things that were attractive to me to join. To give you a quick bio, I was licensed a long time ago, 1994. So I have probably seen every segment of the market, from call brokerages to set showings to apps to set showings, good markets, bad markets, terrible markets, fantastic markets. I feel like I've seen every spectrum of the industry. After 26 years at the same brokerage, after a quick meeting with Andrew Gaydosh and Jay Kinder one afternoon, I texted Andrew about 4 hours later and said, hey, I'm coming aboard. EXP is the future. This is where our industry is going. I think a lot of us, we knew changes were coming in our industry. The way things are done is changing, and wanted to get to the forefront of where our industry is going, and sincerely believe EXP Realty is going to be in the future. I'd like to mention again, I'm not a jumper. I don't move from brokerage to brokerage. So after 26 years, it just took me a few hours to make this jump, and it's the greatest thing I ever did in my career. Starting to have fun again. A lot of new ideas, a lot of training. So I'd like to just point out 7 things that really jumped out at me. And 2.5 years at EXP, almost 3 years at EXP. Now these would probably be the 7 reasons that have been most appealing to me for joining. One of the top 7 reasons of joining EXP and has been beneficial to my growth. I mean, we've closed over 5,500 homes, so we know how to lead generate, we know how to get closings done, but just trying to have fun again and having new ideas. When I got into the industry, I was like a sponge. I listened to tapes. I listened to cassette tapes, and back then you didn't just log on to Amazon and order a cassette player. I used to put them in my car and drive around for an hour taking notes. I actually paid an agent in Colorado and flew to Colorado and paid him $1,000 to spend the day with them and get information that I duplicated. It's an industry where there is no ceiling, so the more information you can accumulate, you just pile it all in and remember the things that appeal to you. But the collaboration has been amazing. Upon joining EXP, I had agents from all over the country calling, texting, emailing me, welcoming me to the company. It's truly an agent-owned company. So the benefit of top quality people, and just in general quality people joining, is beneficial to all of us. So I think we really get that. I don't know how many brokerages where you can just call some of the top agents in the entire organization and they'll reach out and help you, and it's really been an open book. A lot of transparency. We have a program called Workplace where there's groups. It's a Facebook model, but it's called Workplace, and it's only for EXP. And in there I can go to, I'll give you an example. I can go to the listing presentation group. I can type in, show me your listing presentation. And last time I looked, I think 378 agents have commented on that particular group, where it's an open book. I've printed probably 10 different listing presentations of agents all over the world. A gal from Canada named Sylvia Dana, who's an expert on KV Core. I have her listing checklist that I've used to learn from. So the amount of information I've gotten off Workplace has been incredible. An interactive program, it's almost like a gaming platform called EXP World, where you can go in and you can ask the marketing department, the accounting department. I can sit down. I'm actually an avatar. I know that at first that sounds kind of strange, but it's it's all real time. So I can knock on my broker's door. I can sit down live with my broker one-on-one without leaving my desk. Any questions we need answered, there's also live, 50 hours a week, live interactive training in the world, which is pretty cool. Top of that, all the EXP tools available with collaboration. We belong to a group called Honey Badger Nation, and that's Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, Al Stasek, Andrew Gaydosh, John Kitchens, some of the top people in the entire industry. And on top of the EXP training materials, we have all of their training materials through Honey Badger Nation. One of the neatest things at EXP has been, there's, I believe, north of 87,000 of us now. Every single person joined EXP on their own volition. Nobody was paid, nobody was bought, and every single one of us is on the identical same commission plan. So you don't have an agent you meet at a conference and you find out that they're on a different commission plan than you, and there's no animosity based on any of that. We're truly one. We're all in this together. Some of the benefits of being one brokerage is you can be licensed in multiple states and you only have one cap. So you don't have separate for being in a different state like you do in most companies and or brokerages. Another benefit of that is our brokers only are brokers for us. They're not babysitters in a brick and mortar office. We are a virtual cloud-based brokerage. So our broker is not sitting in their office worried about the coffee machine breaking, the ice on the steps outside, things of those nature that your broker does on a daily basis. We are on a cap of 16,000. So what that means is my average sales price is approximately $380. So it takes about 7 transactions for me to get to 80,000 GCI, of which 16,000 of that goes to a cap. After I cap, I can do 20 transactions with a transaction fee of $250 a piece, which is a total of $5,000. At that point, I become what's called an icon agent. Once I become an icon agent, I can therefore get my entire 16,000 cap back in EXPI stock. EXPI, we'll explain a little bit later. EXP is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. So essentially, I can do 27 transactions and it's costing me around $5,000, which is almost unheard of. From there on out, for the rest of my calendar year, it's based on a 12-month calendar, I pay $75 per transaction after I become an icon agent. So there's nothing else like it in our industry. Compensation is at the top. I'm probably 98% when all is said and done, and after I get my stock rewards and everything and revenue share, I'm actually making money working at EXP, and we'll get into the revenue share a little bit later. The amount of training, like I think I mentioned earlier, I'm back in the old days when I used to listen to cassette tapes and read newspapers and magazines and books every single day. I mean, I was like a total sponge. I think my last year at my real job in 1994, I made $29,800. I never even made over $30,000 a year. And then in real estate, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not that hard to make $30,000 in 1 month. So the upside to me as a younger person was tremendous, just hard to explain. EXP World has over 50 hours a week of live training in the EXP World, where you literally sit in an auditorium and there's different 20, 30, 40, 50 different topics a week sometimes of different interactive training, and you can raise your hand, you can ask questions. Some of the top people in the industry are right there at your fingertips, sharing everything they do on a daily basis. So where in the past I spent money to fly and spend a day with somebody, now I can sit at my desk and watch live people all across the world that are doing fantastic businesses. I started out, I think my first year I did 28 transactions, then I went to 72, then I went to 148, then I went to 240s. Our peak year we did 428 transactions. So being a sponge and learning and having all this information, it's a lot of information, and you try to pick and choose and find what best suits you. A lot of people get into real estate as kind of a hobby sometimes, and then they realize the unlimited possibilities that are available and no ceiling. So there's people doing 1,000 transactions a year, and there's some people that do 12 transactions a year. Everybody has their own goals and ambitions, but I truly think you really need to treat it like a business, and in any business, you need to brand yourself. EXP gives you the opportunity to brand yourself any way you want. Of course, you got to follow your state and national brokerage guidelines for how big your name can be compared to your brokerage. And that's at any brokerage. But at EXP, we're not limited to hey, you have to pick sign A or B. You can design everything you want, any way you want. Your letterhead, your website, your yard signs, your corner signs, your automobile, your lawnmower, anything you want to brand. So it's been really fun to create our own branding at EXP. That's the Hildebrand team. It's not EXP. It's truly an agent-centric company where we can grow our business the way we want to grow it. I went to workplace and there's a subgroup or a group for signs. So I went and viewed signs from people all over the world to get some different ideas and some different branding. So it was fun not to be pigeonholed and say, hey, your sign has to look like A or B. You can put your name or picture on it, but we were able to create a sign and marketing and branding particular to how we wanted our team image to be, which has been really, really neat. So some of the tools that are available to us at EXP, I use the EXP supplied website, which there's no extra fee for that. There's some little bells and whistles you can add on that. We use the KV Core, which is supplied by EXP. It's one of the top CRMs. As most of you guys know, there's a lot of different CRMs available. There's pros and cons to each one. If you're at a independent brokerage, I think KV Core is around $500 a month, and that's part of our EXP tools that are supplied to us. The back end stuff that EXP does organically, as far as the traffic that comes to our website, it's dramatically more than it was at my last brokerage with the same domain name. So I'm not near as techy as a lot of the younger folks entering our business. So we still use Dotloop because we were so ingrained in that, and it was actually, Dotloop was created right in our backyard. Austin, who started Dotloop, went to high school in one of my top markets. We also use SkySlope, which is where we input all of our data, and it's synced with Dotloop. So SkySlope also has a DocuSign program, so you don't have to. I think we pay $8 a month for our Dotloop, so it's relatively inexpensive. So if you're worried about you have to use this or you have to use that, most everything at EXP is synced. So I give a lot of people the analogy that when I was at my previous brokerage, I felt like I was driving a Chevrolet with a Ford fender and a Mercedes hood and a Lexus taillight and a Lincoln radiator. I felt like I was always trying to make things work together, where at EXP everything is synced together, and it makes our business pretty seamless, which is makes it easier, right? I mean, all of our dollar productive activities are based on being with buyers and sellers, and a lot of the other stuff is time consuming and non-profitable in some ways, non-dollar productive, to give you the best verbiage. One of the really great things about EXP is the revenue share programs. I think today we're at like 68 partners in our revenue share program, which has been a lot of fun. It's been really neat to partner with other agents that have joined us with other brokerages and other companies. Ironically, I've learned as much from a lot of the people that have come in and joined our group as they have from me. So we're an open book. We show partner agents how to do teamwork. So the revenue share program at EXP, everybody says, well, I don't want to recruit agents, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but you're not really recruiting agents to do anything different than they're already doing, and you're just giving them an opportunity to be under a brokerage and platform that is dramatically better than where most people are currently working. The compensation, the revenue share, the stock awards, et cetera, is something that's just not out there at other brokerages. When an agent joins EXP, we get a portion of their commission that comes from the EXP side of the transaction, not the agent side of the transaction. So it doesn't hurt or benefit. It's not like a profit sharing program where the numbers just pulled out of the sky. It's a true revenue sharing program that the numbers are set in stone. Somebody really sits down and explains the business model to you. It's pretty simple, and it makes a lot of sense. We don't have all the overhead with the brick and mortar companies. You drive by the traditional real estate company now, and there's 10,000 square feet, and you see 3 cars in the parking lot. One's a broker, one's a receptionist, and one might be an agent coming in to do who knows what. The business model of the revenue sharing is we get compensated for bringing agents to EXP. We only want to bring quality people that we have like-minded goals with. We're not trying to recruit every single person. We're not trying to convince every single person. We're just trying to bring quality people that want to join EXP because they take their business seriously and they want their business to grow, and we can help them. We can help them make their business grow, and that's the benefit to everybody. We've also learned just as much from a lot of the people that have partnered from us as they've learned from us. So it's been a truly win-win situation for so many other people. EXPI is a traded company on NASDAQ, and EXP really is doing an amazing job at acquiring other companies that we are part of the industry with. The platform that EXP World on is Verbella. EXP has bought them. Success programs, which used to be Success Magazine, now it's branched out to Success Coaching, which is available through EXP. EXP acquired Success as well. So the stock awards at EXP are pretty extraordinary. EXPI is our NASDAQ symbol and a publicly traded company, so it's fun to watch the company grow and the stock go up. Some of the ways to accumulate stock is when you close your first transaction of the year, you acquire $200 worth of stock. If you sponsor an agent and partner with an agent through revenue share, when they sell their first property, you get $400 worth of stock. When you cap, you get $400 worth of stock. And then when you icon, you have the ability to get $16,000 worth of stock back. You basically get your whole cap back as EXPI stock if you go through the steps. And it's pretty simple, and we can share that with you in a later video. One other way is we're able, every time we close a transaction, we're allowed to buy up to 5% of our commission check in EXPI stock at a 10% discount. So the stock's trading at $20, we can buy it for $18. Now it is vested for 3 years, but we're buying it at a discount. And as we know, EXP is one of the fastest growing companies in the history of real estate. So we're hopeful that that stock is just going to keep going up in value. If you're thinking about joining EXP Realty, call, text, email, schedule a Zoom, and we'll get you started.